Oh, hello. How are you doing? As you can see, we brought the highlighter back. It's only been, what, 2 months? I almost felt like you left me forever. Boy, do we got a story to tell you. It starts all the way back on February 18th through a series of events that dates all the way back to the purchase back in November 20th. And man, I am so happy on how things came out. Everything came out unexpected. But I'm very pleased with the results so far. I've driven it just under 200 miles since yesterday, from the time I left the dealership to the time I brought it home. Driven it around, played hell with it a little bit here and there. Nothing real too crazy or anything. Um, but boy, is it a hell of a story. So, with that, let's get to that story. Okay. Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Okay. So we'll go back to November 20th when I initially went down to buy this car at Performance Luxury in Covington, Kentucky. We take the Camaro down there. We do all the cool jazzy stuff there that you normally do at a dealership. Teddy, my salesman, was kind enough, had everything ready for us, pulled the car out. Some of you may remember the video that I showed of it pulling out of the showroom. My wife and I would take it for a test drive. Upon the test drive, on the initial takeoff on the interstate, everything was fine. There was no indication that there was anything possibly wrong with this car. We stop at um, a parking lot at a restaurant that was closed, and we messed with the hardtop convertible, the up and down, checking everything. Everything's functioning just fine. Well, then we start making our way back to the dealership. That's when things made a little bit of an issue. So as we go back to the dealership, the car starts doing this, like I thought it was within the concrete, like the car felt like it was doing a boom, 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 boom. It's the best way I can describe it. It was very subtle. It wasn't that bad. So we get back to the dealership. I mentioned to Teddy, my salesman, and said, "Hey, the car's doing this little funky thing." So he immediately jumps in the car and takes it for a drive. And then, 5 minutes leads to 10 minutes, 10 minutes leads to 20 minutes, and finally he comes in. And he's like, "Well, I took my tech out, and he knows he felt this. He thinks it might be a flash. Flash the transmission, flash the hardware." I don't know what he really meant by that. But in my mind, I was okay with that. I was like, okay, we'll just take it to a dealership, have them flash or whatever. So I'm like, all right, screw it, let's do it. So fast forward to December. That's where I met Ryan with Corvette Care. Super great dude. Great company if you're in the Central Ohio area. I highly recommend Ryan and the Corvette Care Group. Anyway, I'd contacted them, said I wanted to get um, a flush done on the transmission, check all the fluids, diagnostics on the fluids and everything, air filter, everything, and just do the whole thing. Car only had a little over 11,000 miles on it. It's a 2022, so there's not a whole lot of ramblings going on, but that's what we're doing. So I pay quite a bit of money to have a lot of this stuff done, especially that DTC filter change and flush and all that. Most of you that have a C8 know that that's expensive. So anyway, we get that done. Ryan drops the car off, and upon taking the car for a ride afterwards, um, whatever was going on with the car at that point was 10 times worse. It was almost like Corvette Care had flipped the switch on this thing and just said, yep, you're going to deal with this big time. And it was bad. And I'm going to insert some video, probably like right here. And you can see in these videos how in the touring mode, you could see it in the RPMs. But in the Z mode, I couldn't get it to show in the RPM, but you could see the motion that it was creating inside the car just by my air filter hanging from my mirror. So obviously this was a big, big problem. And it got magnified. And everything that I could find on the internet was pointing finger at the DCT, that dual clutch transmission. So I was automatically worried right out the gate that we're looking at a transmission. So Ryan, through the channel of people that he knew and recommended, got me pointed over to Coughlin Chevrolet in Pataskala, Ohio. And most of you may know them by Rick Conti, the Corvette guy, salesman over there. Him and their C8 tech, Chuck, do a Tech Tuesday, which I'll get to that in a minute as well. So anyway, the road would lead me to them, and I would take it in and drop it off with them on February 18th, where I met Adam, the service advisor there. I got him in the car. The car did this whole ridiculous boom, 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 boom thing all the way over there. Got him in the car. I didn't even hardly get out of the parking spot, and it was already doing it. So already right out the gate, the problem's being replicated. So took him around the block, did that whole spiel. He checked the car in. He said, I'll be back with you here in a few days. Chuck will be in, and the other C8 techs, they'll take a look at it. So then we go to Thursday that week, Wednesday or Thursday that week, I get a text from Adam that it is in fact not the transmission, but they are convinced that it is a magnet, excuse me, a magnet in the camshaft actuator. Who knew? This is something that's so crazy that I didn't even know anything about this. So I'm like, okay, well, that's great. I mean, what all does that entail? Well, let's just see. Old Chuck said it best. This is not a very easy fix because the way Chevy and Corvette built these things, being a mid-engine car, this magnet for the camshaft actuator is tucked up in there far enough that they got to take that engine out of the car. So you got to lift the car up, drop the engine. So I'm thinking, well, this is going to be interesting. That it was. So I think it was because of the repair and just the way the stars lined up with dealing with Coughlin and Pataskala. There was a little bit of time involved in this because some things they had going on there in the store. So there was a little bit of a delay, which was fine. But within, I think it would have been 3 weeks ago, this past Friday, so just a couple days ago. So 3 weeks and 2 days ago from the time I'm doing this, I got a message that they were starting to do the teardown on it. So at that point in time, I'm excited. I am through the roof. I'm excited. The weather's starting to break. First Corvette, everything. So just ecstatic. I couldn't tell you the amount of emotions I was feeling at that point. Um, so then we'll fast forward through all this giddy stuff. So that ends up being this magnet in the camshaft actuator, which was there was a bulletin. And as I was telling you about Rick, Conti, and Chuck doing this thing called Tech Tuesdays, generally Rick does this video on Tuesdays, and they spoke about this particular bulletin on the car. Well, while they're speaking about it, Rick had mentioned, well, you just had one of those before, didn't you? And he said, yeah, we did. Chuck said, yeah, we certainly did. And we have one right now, which was this one. So he clearly explained it, which was great for me because then I had a real understanding of exactly what was going on with this car. Um, I have to say, I was actually excited to know that it wasn't a new transmission. I wasn't excited about knowing about the engine coming out, but that's neither here nor there. Because at the end of the day, I knew my car was in great hands with Chuck and the Chevy store in Pataskala. I mean, I can't say it enough, but I am excited to get out and enjoy this car this spring and summer. And it's only due part because of the knowledge and the expertise that those guys over there at Coughlin and Pataskala put towards my car. The car literally went in there with the possible transmission issue, and all it was this little magnet on the camshaft actuator. I don't have any idea how much that part was. It's all warranty, thank goodness. Um, but at the end of the day, you don't want your car worked on at all. You don't want your engine taken out. You don't want your transmission replaced. You don't want none of that. You buy these machines for the prices that we have to pay for these machines. You expect them to be at the top of their game. Buying used, you get those problems. I was fortunate enough through the chain of people that Ryan led me with, I was able to get a lot more information that not even Carfax or AutoCheck was giving out. I found out that this car's had a valve body replacement done on it. Nowhere did it show in my Carfax on it. So that part bums me out. So you have to be careful about buying these C8s when you get these cars used on the market, because this car has been in the shop 4 different times for transmission problems that the problem could not be replicated while at the dealership. So I get it. I take it in there, and it was spot on, man. It showed up right when it needed to, which was good. But here we are. But she runs really good, and I think we might just take you for a ride so you can see how well she operates. Probably better not. We'll save that for another day. You guys will see plenty of me doing videos with this car, and I'm excited to show you some of the cool things that I do have going on with this car. So, as most of you know, it's a 2022 C8 Corvette hardtop Z51. It's got the Sky Cool Gray with the Accelerate Yellow insert, yellow seat belts. And someone was cool enough, getting kind of a chuckle out of this. They was trying to flex in some sort of way and put the Z06 badge in there. I don't know if it's just because they took their build badge out or what, but yeah, Alcantara steering wheel, Alcantara roof, ceiling, I guess. Yeah. Super fine machine, and I love it. And one of the coolest things that I can sit here and say is that I stuck it through. I bought this car knowing that there was a possible problem. I didn't know what that problem was. I was blindsided by it, by the actual problem, but I didn't care. I told my wife, I said, this is like adopting a dog that keeps being returned to the pound. I wanted to see through it that I could train this dog. And I think we did that with the help of the guys there at Coughlin Chevrolet in Pataskala, Ohio. So I'm telling you, if you have any issues with your cars, I'm telling you, don't take them lightly. I'm going to show you guys another video of what happened, what was going on. Don't think that it's your transmission a lot of times, especially if your car is doing this fluctuating on the RPMs. Don't play with it. I mean, I guess you can drive it. I guess somebody must have drove this thing for couple thousand miles with that and just got sick of it because they couldn't get the dealership to fix it. So just putting it out there for all you other C8 owners, if you're having this problem with your RPMs fluctuating, be sure to mention something about that camshaft actuator. Chuck mentioned something in their video. I'll put a link somewhere to that video for y'all to check out. But I really recommend you do it because the C8 is one fine machine, and you can't take it. You can't just take it anywhere and not expect to get a little bit of attention. But you want it to sound good and look good. And my car did not sound good. It was rather embarrassing because it sounded like I was revving it up all the time, and I wasn't. I was just merely accelerating, and it just horrible. Anyway, that's what I'm leaving you guys with. I hope you enjoyed the video. Uncut. I don't know if I'm going to do more of these like this, but I'm excited to do some C8 Corvette content, which I'm going to share things that the car has, this particular car anyways. There's some that don't have some of the things that I have on mine, and then there's others that have other shit that mine won't have. So I mean I don't have a Z06, I've got a Z51. I've only got 495 horsepower. So sorry for you Z06 and E-Ray fans or future Grand Sport owners. I don't have anything like that. I don't have anything cool like that. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Sips up. Have a good night.